In observing details related to this first question, what will you give me? I notice that Abram's question comes in response to God's word of promise for protection and for a great reward. Fear not, Abram, I am your shield. Your reward shall be very great. So I'm going to highlight these particular details and then add my observation in a dot note. Then I notice that when Abram asks, what will you give me? He gives a reason, for I continue childless. In other words, Abram's question does not appear to be a sort of doubting of God's promise, but a legitimate puzzle due to his lack of a child. And then in verse 3, Abram adds that God himself is the cause of this dilemma. Also in verse 3 is Abram's concern that his inheritance will pass outside his family to a member of his household. But God answers unequivocally that Abram will have a son. Moreover, God tells Abram to go outside and look up to heaven and try to number the stars. And by this, God affirms his promise of a multitude of offspring. And these are just a few of the details related to Abram's first question. As it was with the first, Abram's second question comes in response to God's word of promise, this time to give him the land as a possession. And Abram's question is particularly the seeking of some sort of confirmation or assurance of this promise. And in response, the Lord addresses any potential uncertainty when he says, "Know for certain." And then the Lord reveals more of the story to come concerning Abram's family, that they will be sojourners and slaves, but God will bring them back to this land of promise. Then in verse 17 we read of the smoking firepot and flaming torch that pass between the halves of the carcasses of the animals. And then in verse 18 the Lord makes a covenant. And the phrase "on that day" directly connects the scene of the firepot with the Lord making the covenant in verse 18. And then in the words of the covenant, God unequivocally affirms his promise of the land as an inheritance to the descendants of Abram. To mark up any other detail that caught your attention, what grabbed my attention was that God spoke to Abram in a vision. And in this vision, it is the word of the Lord that comes to Abram. That is to say, in this vision, God's words are clear and audible and direct to Abram. Moreover, Abraham responds directly to God with audible words. Down in verse 12, the text does not explicitly say that the Lord spoke to Abram in a vision, as he did in verse 1. But it does imply such is the case, as Abram is in a very deep sleep. And then, before God enacts the covenant, an overwhelming darkness comes upon Abram, as though all else was blocked from view, so he would only see the scene in front of him. So now you can see all of my markups, and you may have seen some of the same things or similar points, and of course you may have observed some details entirely different than mine. There's dozens, maybe even hundreds of details in this text, which is good evidence for how much there is to see in God's Word. It is a sweet and rich treasure.